Coming to you from an undisclosed location thousands of fathoms beneath the sea. This is the Deep Dive Podcast.
All ahead 1/3, up scope.
Battle stations.
Battle stations!
Hello, divers, and welcome to the next episode of the Deep Dive Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Manda, and with me today, as, well, always, is...
Oh, what's my line?
Oh, you're Tom.
I'm sorry, I usually do this part.
I know.
Oh yeah, Tom.
Tom.
That's my real name, not a fake pseudonym that I created for other purposes, like tax evasion. Hi.
Hi. I'm so excited. This is going to be a really good one, I think.
You're very optimistic.
I know. What?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Cool. Anyways, so today's episode, I thought we would kind of be a little bit funky and maybe switch things up a little bit.
In what way?
Like in the bodies. Switch in the bodies. Body switchers.
Oh, like that movie Invasion of the Body Switchers.
Is that what? Wait a minute, that's not what it's called, is it?
Never mind.
Anyways, today we're going to talk about movies that involve body swaps or, personality swaps, etc., etc., etc. Nothing was really off limits except we couldn't do Freaky Friday because that's just too obvious.
Yeah, everybody knows the Freaky Friday thing. You know.
Even all the remakes, it's just we couldn't do that. So we had to choose some more classic and some more obscure ones, which I think people are really going to like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Me too.
All
I just can't hide it.
Okay, then. So, how about this time? How about you go first?
Absolutely. So,
Cool.
My first pick is what I consider to be a comedy classic.
Yeah.
This is from 1984. I don't know if you've heard of this movie,
Okay.
but it's called All of Me with Lily Tomlin and Steve Martin.
Are you serious?
Yes, why?
Because that's my pick.
No.
Yes, it is. I totally chose that movie.
Oh my God. Okay, so a little behind the scenes here, right?
Oh, man.
We don't tell each other ahead of time before we start recording what our picks are, just to be more spontaneous about it.
Yeah.
And this is the first time this has happened.
Oh, man.
We have both picked the same movie.
Oh, man. Well, you're right. It is a classic.
It is a classic. So, may I?
Yeah, please.
All right, very good. So, All of Me was made by one of the great comedy writer-directors of all time, and that's Carl Reiner. He also did The Jerk, The Man with Two Brains, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, just some really, really funny movies.
Is he related to Rob Reiner?
He is Rob Reiner's father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that...
Rob Reiner's in Spinal Tap.
As in Spinal Tap, yes,
Yeah.
another great comedy director.
Oh, love that
Runs in
movie.
the family.
Yeah.
So in All of Me, Lily Tomlin plays Edwina Cutwater. She's not a nice person. She's this
not.
dying millionaire-ess who arranges through her lawyer, Roger, who's played by Steve Martin, to have a mystic or shaman or whatever transfer her soul to a beautiful younger woman before she dies.
But of course, it has to be put in a vessel before that happens.
Exactly. Now, Roger, the lawyer, thinks this whole thing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Nobody other than, I think, Lily Tomlin and the shaman believe that this is going to work, but it does. And as you said, Edwina's soul is put into this vase or vase or whatever you want to call it, where then it will go from there into the young woman's body. But what happens?
It doesn't.
No, where does it go?
It goes into Roger.
It does. So the vase like falls out of the
It falls
window.
out the window on top of him, yeah.
On top of him. And basically now he's like Two-Face, but like internally.
Oh, jeez. I can't move my right leg. I'm paralyzed.
Here, let me try. We obviously have mutual control over our body.
Our body. It's my body. I'm not sharing my body with anyone.
Everybody's going to be real disappointed.
If you've ever had your soul transferred to another body, you know how delicate this can be. I mean, really. But in this case,
Yeah.
Roger and Edwina are both sharing Roger's body.
Which is unique.
Yeah.
Because most of the time it's you inhabit that person and then you have to sort of play along in their life, span. This is where
Exactly.
there's two people are fighting out for control of Roger's body.
Yes, and this fight sort of makes itself known with Roger flailing around and kind of changing control over each other. And so this kind of really plays into Steve Martin's physical comedy skills.
Yeah, I think if
And
he
he's brilliant.
didn't do that, it may not have been believable.
Exactly.
If he wasn't like in this cast doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, I mean, you don't, at least not these days, you don't really think of Steve Martin as being a physical comedian.
Right.
And when he got started, he was really almost more of a cerebral kind of absurdist comic when he did his stand-up. But there was some
Yeah.
physical stuff there. But he showed off his physical comedy skills, first off in The Jerk, which is one of my favorite comedies of all time. So he really could pull something like this off.
Yeah.
So when Roger and Edwina are fighting for control over Roger's body, you kind of believe that it's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's this whole inner monologue. The two of them are talking to each other in his head.
And you can see her in the mirror.
In the mirror. That's a clever little kind of trick there. And you want, you kind of root for Edwina to get out of Roger's body.
Yeah.
At first because you hate her. And secondly, because as the two of them kind of work together, they sort of bond and
Yeah.
form a relationship
Yeah.
to work together and try to solve this problem.
Well, it's also kind of awkward too, where like he's a dude who likes women, and sometimes when that happens, like people get together in an intimate scenario, and she's in his head. While this is okay, never mind.
So I have some pamphlets that explain this.
Yeah.
And some charts and graphs and a couple of slideshows. So, I mean, see, it's a delicate time because you go through changes.
Yeah.
And, you're blossoming. And things happen. And, oh, wait, never mind. This is
Anyways.
wrong podcast for that.
But it's kind of
Shenanigans.
like, it's weird because she's in his head and she has this female perspective. Also, she's cranky. She's not a nice
Slightly,
lady.
yes.
Yeah, she's a cranky
little,
lady.
Little cranky. And he's kind of a stiff.
He is. He's kind of boring, doesn't really do much, but she brings out that fun, almost quirky side of him because he now has to deal with life as two people, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, now, we all have different sides to our personalities.
Of course.
But
I'm amazing and charming all the time.
I'm sorry, is this thing on? Yeah, sure. But we've all got aspects to our personalities that kind of fight with each other.
Sure. Yeah.
Certain that you have your baser impulses that you try to control and rein in. Some people do that better than others.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. On that note, so it's so well done and it's so funny.
It really is.
And it's such a great kind of idea.
Yeah.
And they pull it off really well.
They do.
So, but that's so weird that we both picked the same
I know.
movie.
I was trying to go like obscure, and I just recently watched Steve Martin's Netflix special with Martin Short, and it was
so funny.
hilarious.
Really funny.
Oh my god, my husband and I were cracking up the entire time. But yeah, I watched it and I thought, oh, okay, I gotta look for another movie, and then I just happened to look at his IMDb page, and I saw this. I'm like, maybe it's a love story, right? I'll check it out. And then I was like, this is perfect. This is amazing, and Tom's never gonna get this.
Aha.
Yeah.
See, the difference between you and me in that respect is I was alive in the 80s.
Hey, so was I, kinda. Because, like, I was born in, like, late 86, so I had 3 years.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Enough to know, like, well, never mind. I don't remember much.
No.
Yeah.
You're a 90s kid.
Yeah. I really was. Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles. Pogs. Oh my god.
Tamagotchi.
I had a Tamagotchi, and I haven't the slightest clue where it is, but I'm sure it's worth a lot of money on eBay.
No, I'm sure
But they
it's
brought
dead.
well, yeah. Because you know what happened? He pooped himself, and then they die if you don't clean them up fast enough.
Is that how it works?
It's true. It's so true. Listeners,
Wow.
tell me. Yeah. Yeah, but they actually recently brought those back. Oh, Furbies. Do you remember Furbies?
Yeah, I've got some.
Yeah, creepy little things. They're kind of
Yes.
like post-Gremlin-y.
Yeah.
Because I always wanted a gremlin,
My cat has a feud with the Furby.
Oh,
He doesn't like it.
your cat's awesome.
My cat is awesome, but he does not like the Furby.
Yeah. Well, I
He's
mean, they
a
are
little-
kind of creepy.
They are. They
Yeah.
really, really are. And it makes the weirdest sounds. Yeah. The cat just like sort of bats at it.
Did his eyes open up?
Yeah, it's fun to watch. Not for him, but it's fun for me to watch.
Of course, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, this is a great movie. I love Steve Martin. He's so funny. He was great in like so many great movies, but like I think of automatically Father of the Bride,
Oh, yeah.
and Cheaper by the Dozen. Yeah. Also, there's that SNL skit where he's like King Tut or something.
Oh yeah, classic.
Yeah. That was a really old one. I think it was from the 70s, before I was born. But yeah, you can still watch it on like 8mm film.
Oh, that's not how that works.
No, okay, never mind.
But Steve Martin, I mean, not only was he, not only is he a great comedian, also a fantastic banjo player.
Yes.
Was
like bluegrass, amazing musician.
Yeah, one of his first jobs was doing magic at Disneyland.
Yeah.
What? That's fine.
No, it's just like, yeah. I never had the inclination as a child to go to Disneyland. I really didn't. I just, I watched Disney movies. I was like, yeah, whatever. It's just a mouse. It's a castle, whatever. Now in my 30s, I need to go.
Yes,
and I'm upset that I haven't gone.
To Disneyland.
No.
Disney World?
None of them.
Really?
None of the Disneys.
None
so
of
now
them.
it's become like this thing where I have to save and I actually have to go.
Well, if you're going to go to England, you just hop on over to Disneyland Paris.
Oh, oui.
No, it's down the hall.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All of me
gets
a 6.7 out of 10 on the Internet Movie Database.
Yep.
91%
I know. That was amazing.
on Rotten Tomatoes. And where can we find All of Me?
Well, let's see. I have it not written down.
Well, then I'll take over for this one. iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Prime Video, Vudu, and YouTube for $3.99.
Voodoo who?
Voodoo You Do.
Ooh, voodoo hoodoo you do windu? Mace windu?
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man, that's so funny that we picked the same thing.
That is funny.
I love that movie so much because
too.
Lily Tomlin is just a cranky old lady and she's hilarious. But actually, she's in Grace and Frankie. Have you watched that on Netflix?
I have watched that on Netflix.
So good, right?
It is, yeah. Or Jane Fonda.
Yes.
Martin Sheen.
Yes.
And somebody else I can't remember
from
right
Law and
now.
Order. Dun dun.
Martin Sheen from Law and Order?
No, his partner's from Law and Order. I can't remember his name.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a fun little show.
Yeah, it is.
It goes into some weird places. But it's a fun little show.
Frankie Bergstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you got next?
Okay, well, since you stole everything that I wrote down.
Whoa. Borrowed.
Borrowed. Ooh, The Borrowers?
Yeah.
That could have been in last week's episode, the Little Creatures one. That's a fantastic film. Have you seen that?
Yeah, the little, the borrowers.
The people, they live in your house and they, anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways, I got one. Now, I know that we talked about last episode where I was kind of like more on the darker side of things, with like my Michael Collins pick, which is a very heavy movie.
Yep.
I'm going to go that way again.
This is kind of a Freaky Friday because you're going for the dark one.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So I chose 1989's The Immortalizer.
The Immortalizer.
Yes. Directed by Joel Bender. He doesn't have many titles to his name, but he did work on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the TV series that ran from like 1992 to like 1999, somewhere around there.
Power Rangers, yeah, that's still on.
Yes.
And they've made 20 different versions of it.
I think I stopped watching like maybe Zeo or Dragon Force. I can't remember.
Not Turbo?
Oh no, Turbo was great.
You like
Anything
Turbo?
with Jason David Frank in it, I was involved.
Oh, the Green Ranger.
He and the White Ranger and the Red Ranger and the
Plaid
Black Ranger.
Oh, yes, Black Ranger, sorry.
Plaid Ranger.
Puce.
Fun fact, tangent, I met him. He's a really, really nice chap. Like, really nice guy. A few years back when we had that whole marathon thing that happened in Boston, he was due to come over and sort of sign autographs at Boston Convention Center, Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Couldn't make it, though, because of, obvious reasons. And he still came anyways. Rented out this, like, sort of area above a bar down on Lansdowne Street. We came in, we talked to him, chatted for a few minutes. Really nice guy. Yeah, like, he's one of those celebrities that I met thinking that he's going to be... kind of a mean, jerky guy. Not at all. Very nice, cool guy.
Well, one of my, if I may interrupt for a moment.
Go ahead.
One of my oldest friends has him for a martial arts instructor.
No kidding.
In California.
No kidding.
Yep.
Wow. Because he really is, like, super into martial arts. Like,
Yeah.
he is all about that Muay Thai stuff. Anyways, let's back to our podcast, because this is not sponsored by Saban Entertainment.
But it should be.
But it should be. Hashtag sponsor us. Anyways, The Immortalizer, 1989, directed by Joel Bender, worked on MMPR, that's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Cast. Okay, these people aren't that well known for anything outside of this, but basically we've got Ron Ray and Chris Kroon, and here's the basic plot, okay? When we're talking like super basic here. there's a mad scientist who has these little creatures, these henchmen, who he makes go kidnap like pretty people, pretty college students, blonde people, like, oh, you're very pretty and good looking, come with us. So he kidnaps them and he implants brains of old, wealthy, old people into them. So
Wait, isn't this the plot of Get Out?
Okay, I was going to mention that, right? I was going to say something about that.
No, sorry, no spoilers.
No spoilers, but I'll tell you something. That movie, Get Out, was fantastic, and it deserved all the awards that it won.
It did, yes.
Oh,
it was great.
so good.
I can't wait to see his next film, Us.
Yeah. Yeah, he's also directing The Twilight Zone, too.
That's right,
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. But
Jordan Peele, by the way.
Jordan Peele. Love that guy. Key and Peele was really funny.
Yes,
too.
it was.
Yeah. But yeah, so he puts these brains in to these people, therefore effectively making the old, rich, wealthy coots immortal.
Your motor skills are very good.
Well, thank you very much, Doctor.
Surgical skills like yours, I can definitely use.
Well, like I said, Doctor, for the right money, I'm all yours.
Oh, the money's right. I've been looking for someone like you for a long time. And I'm old. I need someone to carry on as me.
You mean for you?
No, I mean as me. No.
Wait, that explains the title.
Yeah.
The Immortalizer.
Yeah. I'm glad you got there. Wow. With little help from me. That was
So
good.
if there's a movie called The Vaporizer, it'd be going around vaporizing people?
Or just vaping.
Oh, that's a filthy habit. And I promise to stop doing it.
Oh, it's so bad for you. People, you know what? If they tell you it's not bad, trust me, it is bad. But anyways, so yeah, that's the basic plot, right? And some of the acting in this really makes you think that people are sort of standing around waiting for other people to say their lines. It's not the best. But I gotta tell you, it's funny.
I love movies like that.
Right? Because I found it funny because it's just so unfunny. And it's so, just awkward. Oh, there's a line. Maybe I should say it. And, oh, yes, you're a mad scientist. So, yeah. So it fits the quota, right, of body swapping. Because, well, I mean, not so much swapping, I suppose, as, implementation. But I would say that in terms of body swapping movies on IMDb, it did actually reach number 17 out of 35 because they of course have these lists. Yeah. So it was 17. It doesn't have the highest score.
Surprise.
Surprise. IMDb gives it a 4.1.
Womp womp.
Yeah, Metacritic didn't have a score on it.
Ooh.
Yeah, and of 202 votes, it looks like Rotten Tomatoes give it a 11%. So okay. Was that the Price is Right tune?
Yes.
Yeah, that was amazing. I love that. What's that game called? Plinko. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 because it was just hilarious. The acting was so subpar. But I really liked the concept because before I watched Get Out, it didn't necessarily dawn on me that there was any other body swapping movie other than Freaky Friday. Right?
There's quite a few.
There's so many. And then I thought about, well, what about Face Off? Does that technically count?
I was thinking of that. It's a face swapping movie.
Right, but not a body swapping movie.
But still, it's amazing.
Right, it's a good movie.
It's a great movie. It's not obscure. So for that reason alone, I was like,
right. So I was thinking
that.
that actor that no one really knows about, Nicolas Cage, is that what his name is?
Nicolas Cage, I think
we haven't really heard too much from him,
yes.
But yeah, so he was in it and I figured people aren't going to get that, so I didn't do that one.
And then there's who was the other guy?
John Trapani. Trapine?
John Revolta.
John Revolta.
What? Hey, I'm over here.
Sandy.
Oh
man, this is why we can't get sponsored.
Yeah, we really have to stop doing this after certain hours.
Yeah. Anyways, you can find the Immortalizer. Sadly, it is only available to buy, and that would be on Amazon and Apple and Google Play for $9.99.
$10 for the Immortalizer?
$10.
A movie that sounds like a long-lasting battery? No.
Listen, give it a chance, okay? This podcast is about giving obscure things a chance, and this one, I think even you might laugh at.
I think I probably would, because I love movies that are so bad they're good.
Right, but you'll just rent it. You won't actually buy it.
Yeah.
If you can find it anywhere from rent. Oh, you know what? There's a
will find
Blockbuster in Alaska. They might have it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if they can ship.
Yeah, if they can't, then we're kind of in trouble here. And the late fees would be insane.
Oh, man.
I'm not taking that chance.
Oh, God. I still have a Redbox I have to return. I don't know how much it's going to cost me.
It's bad. It's
Yeah.
bad. Streaming has killed all that, thankfully.
Yeah. Thank you, streaming services.
Woohoo!
So, yeah,
Sponsor us,
that's
hashtag
my,
sponsor us.
my first and my second pick.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
in that case, my first and my second pick
Yeah.
is the 1978 comedy Heaven Can Wait. Have you heard of this movie?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Okay, so Heaven Can Wait is a movie that stars comedy legend Warren Beatty. Wait, no, that's not
Wait
right.
a minute.
Ishtar. Bad.
It was written on the page here, seeing what they did. That
Yeah,
poor guy. He
no.
got thrown under the bus for that.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Warren Beatty plays a very talented NFL quarterback named Joe Pendleton. And he dies in a terrible accident. He's riding a bike. He gets killed by a truck and all that. Or does he?
Just remember the Titans?
No.
Okay. That's a good movie, though.
That is a good movie. I got a story about that. I'll tell you another time.
Okay.
Seems as though, in this case, an overzealous guardian angel plucked Joe out of his body seconds before the accident. He didn't want him to feel any pain.
Oh.
So he pulls him out of his body just before the accident happens, right? But that was a mistake on his part.
Uh-oh.
See, the guardian angel didn't count on him being a terrific athlete, that he would have the reflexes able to avoid the accident just before it happened, which is how it should have gone.
Right.
But now that didn't happen, and so Joe is in heaven, and he's not supposed to be. He's not supposed to die for another 40, 50 years.
Uh-oh.
And that creates some problems.
A man who went to heaven before his time
I'm not supposed to be here. Well, you guys made a mistake.
and came back to life in the body of another man.
It's me. Inwardly, you haven't changed. You're still Joe Pendleton. That's what you and I see. But outwardly, you're Leo Farnsworth, and that's what everyone else will see.
Warren Beatty, Julie Christie. Heaven Can Wait. Rated PG.
The boss is going to be mad at that angel.
The boss is very mad at that angel. The obvious choice is, well, you gotta put him back in his body, right?
Right.
Except that Joe was cremated.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's not good.
Put him in the salt pepper shaker.
Well, it's not going to work. So, I mean, because Joe's like, excuse me, you screwed up. This is your fault. You have to fix this.
Right.
What are you going to do for me? I want to see your manager. I want to talk to your manager, buddy. All right? I want a free body out of this. Swap it. Give me a new body.
Oh, man, if they only knew.
So this guardian angel, who's just trying to do the right thing,
Yeah.
goes on a hunt for a new body for Joe. And after a few not so successful attempts, which is a very funny sequence, trying to find a new body for him, they settle on a millionaire playboy
Okay.
who's about the same age, same, he looks the same, of course, not to everybody else, but not to other people.
Right.
But the reason they're able to put Joe into this guy's body is that he has just been murdered.
Oh.
He has just been murdered, poisoned. So just as the millionaire dies, the guardian angel puts Joe's soul into his body.
Uh-oh.
So he wakes up and it's like, okay, this is not me, but maybe I can work with this.
Right. So he retains his memories then.
He retains his memories.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's not fair if he didn't.
Right.
So now you've got Joe inside this millionaire's body.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, well, maybe we can do something with this. But of course, he acts completely differently.
So people pick up on it.
People kind of pick up on it a little bit. They think because he had a near-death experience, so to speak, that he's changing his life around.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And he makes some weird decisions. He decides he wants to get back into football. But with this body, how's he going to do that? So he goes off on this diet regimen, exercise, training. He uses his wealth to buy or rent a professional football team to play in his massive yard,
Right.
in his estate. and everybody thinks he's gone absolutely bonkers. Meanwhile, the two people that conspired to murder him are like, what happened? He was supposed to die, and they keep trying to kill him over and over again with no success.
Oh, and is that due to intervention from the angels?
You never find out for sure.
Oh, okay.
But since all the bets are off now,
Right.
because this is a whole screw up, you never know.
Right.
You never know what's going to happen. But this is such a funny movie. It's got a lot of slapstick stuff on it with the constant attempts to kill him that fail miserably. But for a film that was made in the 70s, it is so optimistic, and it's not cynical or bleak or anything like that. It is so charming. And there's even a love story involved. So it's such a sweet kind of comedy that you don't really expect from the people involved. This, like, Warren Beatty's not known for his
romantic side.
Yeah, well, romantic side, yes, but not for his comedic side.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
But he pulls this off really, really well. And there's some great actors in this movie. The villains are played by Charles Grodin and Diane Cannon, both really, really good in this film.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's some Hollywood veterans: James Mason, Jack Warden, R.G. Armstrong, who was also in Dick Tracy from Warren Beatty as well. There's a lot of suspense in this too, because you never know really what's going to happen. With is he going to get to keep this body? Is he going to get murdered again? And what happens after that?
Yeah.
Will he ever make his dream come true of playing professional football again? How is that going to work even?
Right.
Does he have to... So he winds up trying to have to buy the football team with his money and then put himself as quarterback, and everybody thinks he's absolutely crazy for doing that.
Right.
But that's his dream, and it was taken away from him.
Right.
So he tries to get that dream back, and what happens in that process. And then, it's so crazy, and there's a lot of twists and turns around. You got to figure out how's this going to play out? How's this going to end? How can this possibly end well for anybody? But I have to say, this has one of the best, most satisfying endings of any movie I've ever seen. You see, you're the ending. You're like in tears. You're like, oh, this is so cool. This is so sweet. This is a great love story, and you really just sit back and you're like, wow, this is amazing. It's so well done. It's like I felt the same way after watching this the first time as I did after watching Back to the Future the first time. It's like it all works so perfectly. The plot, everything dovetails together at the end.
Yeah.
Everything's wrapped up in a nice, neat little bow. You feel good about it.
Yep.
And it's just that kind of, it feel good. It really is a feel good movie.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend it.
And then you ring a bell, and an angel gets his wings.
Yeah, it's a different thing altogether.
Okay.
But if this sounds like it's kind of a throwback to kind of an earlier type of movie, it actually is, because Heaven Can Wait is a remake of a 1941 film called Here Comes Mr. Jordan, which is a black and white, kind of a very simple plot movie. It's the same general idea, except in the 1941 version, he's a boxer, not a football player.
So it's
the same thing.
A remake. Can it be a remake if it's... Yeah, technically be a remake if it has a different name?
Yes.
Okay. So
I think so.
So not just like borrowing a concept then?
No, because it borrows it almost exactly.
Oh, okay. To like
it
the
is,
T. Yeah.
It is like to the T with just a few minor
like
differences.
Mr. T.
Pity the fool.
Yeah.
It's not. There's some things change around for the times, but for the most part, it's the same plot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And I don't know. Honestly, I don't know which one I like more. They're both really, really good.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend checking either or both out when you get a chance, because it's such a nice movie to watch and just let wash over you.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it a lot.
There's so many movies, too, with, like, angels and sports. We have that movie. Then we have Angels in the Outfield.
Yes, that's one I was thinking of.
Kid in King Arthur's Court.
Does Field of Dreams count?
Yeah. I mean, Kevin Costner, he did Waterworld. I haven't really trusted him since then.
Oh, glug, glug.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's, like, that's a whole genre of, like, angels interfering in sports people's lives. Like movies, What is it with that? Angels and sports? I don't know.
There's the California Angels, or now the Anaheim Angels.
Well, I was going to say, wait a minute, hold on. First of all, and then second of all, have they... We don't need to talk about them. You said to me once, no sports podcasting on this podcast, so I'm going to hold you to it too.
Well, here's the thing. Mine had a significant part in the movie.
Nope.
So I have to reference it because It's in the movie.
Okay. Yep.
So I think that kind of is a special dispensation for
Well,
sports references.
I'm looking at our producer, and they're saying no, and you have to wrap it up. So I don't think it does.
You know what? He's fired. You're fired, Jermaine. Yeah, get out. No, I'm not talking about the movie.
It's
Get out.
Saint-Germain, actually.
No, that's not Germain to the situation.
Oh.
Oh, this is going off the rails like Amtrak.
Actually, you ever taken the Nor'easter? That thing is faint. That's fast.
I know I don't go on trains.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of trains, there's a really great movie called Mrs. Winterbourne. Have you seen that?
I've heard of it, but I
Ricky
haven't
Lake.
seen it.
Oh, I love that movie. It involves a train crash, and then she has to presume the identity of somebody else. So it's kind of like a body swapping thing, but really no bodies were displaced. But Ricky Lake.
Ricky Martin?
Ricky Lake.
Living La Vida Loca.
Ricky Lake has to pretend to be somebody who she's not, and then falls in love with Brendan Fraser, who he's actually playing his twin, and he's only not a twin. So it's this weird dynamic. But it's so good. You should watch it. Mrs. Winterbourne.
Yeah, Ricky Lake's not in enough movies.
She was
so good in Crybaby.
I was gonna say I've only seen her in 2. Crybaby was one of them.
Hairspray?
Nope, haven't seen that. And then Mrs. Winterbourne.
Ah.
Yeah, but Crybaby made me kind of cry.
I loved Crybaby.
Yeah, it was a good movie though.
It was.
Yeah.
So now let's get to the stats.
Oh, stats. Yeah.
This is,
I'm sorry. I went off on a
sports
tangent.
again.
I'm sorry.
I'm doing sports again. Let's hear the statistics. Heaven Can Wait.
Yep.
Gets a 6.9 out of 10
Okay.
on the Internet Movie Database and an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. So,
all right, yeah.
hey, the proof is there. You can rent it on Fandango now.
Yep.
iTunes, Amazon Prime Video, Google Play, PlayStation Store, Vudu, and YouTube for a mere $3.99.
Isn't the PlayStation Store cool?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Okay, never mind.
No, can I get that? Can I get that with my Atari 2600?
Oh Lord.
All right, fine.
Remember Dreamcasts?
Oh,
And Segas.
that's
So cool.
I pretty much stopped with the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that was my last real console.
Yeah.
That's not true. I have a Switch. Shh. Don't tell anybody.
I do too.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of body swapping, this is a Switch.
Oh, Switch.
Hashtag sponsor us.
Love you, Nintendo.
Now here comes Mr. Jordan, the other film I mentioned.
Oh yeah.
Is, as of this recording, streaming on Turner Classic Movies for free.
Oh.
And is available to rent on most of the streaming services which I mentioned previously.
That TCM channel has a lot of older movies.
They're so good.
I've seen Gone with the Wind on that channel. I've seen a bunch of movies like that.
They have some really great ones, and they rotate them quite often.
They
so you
do,
can find
they do.
some, and they have like months where like in October they do a lot of horror movies, or they do sci-fi movies.
It's like TBS minus all the cop dramas.
Isn't that all they have?
In the heat of the night.
TBS, the badge station, is that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so
Yep.
you feel good?
I feel good.
All right.
I feel
so-
like I'm in my own body.
Yeah.
Those experiments we were working on didn't work out, thank goodness.
Well, next time we'll cross the wires a little bit, cross the streams.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Never cross the streams.
No, that would be bad. So that's it.
Yep.
For this edition of the Deep Dive Podcast.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Join us next time when we switch gears a little bit and rate the top 10 bargain pasta strainers on the market today. Sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Yes.
No. I'm talking about April Fools.
Oh,
Get it?
hey.
You did a whole thing there.
Hey.
That's right. We're going to do an April Fool's episode.
Remember that time in like 1991 where it snowed on April Fool's Day? Like a massive amount?
No.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't here for that.
Oh, right. You were living in, where is that, Pennsylvania?
No, I was living in Las Vegas.
Oh, right. They don't get snow there.
They
the snow that
did
you
this
snort.
year. They did this year.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit, and everybody lost their minds, as usual.
Yes.
But for different reasons than losing their minds, which is a whole other story.
Well, it is Vegas.
Yes. Oh, boy, do I have stories about that, but that's for another show. Now, we only have one rule about our next episode. In April Fools, it's going to be about twists, like
surprise endings.
Plot twists, surprise endings, things like that. But you know where I'm going with this, don't you?
I think I know where you're going with.
Who's not going to be involved in this?
Is it Mr. Shyamalan?
M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
That is the only rule. There will be no M. Night Shyamalan. There will be
No
no
Village.
Sixth Sense, no Village, none of that. Was that Lady in the Water or something like that?
Yeah, I can't
No,
remember.
and
Blair Witch
not that.
Project.
No, that wasn't him.
Oh, okay.
And the abomination called The Last Airbender.
Wait, the Nintendo anime show?
Yeah, he did a movie. He did the movie, the live action.
No,
version
sorry,
of that.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, something
one of
like
the two,
that.
one
He
of the
did
two.
the live action. It was terrible.
Did
and
he?
Then After Earth with Will Smith, which was also awful. But he's coming back. He's coming back. He did Glass.
Right.
So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but he's not going to appear anywhere on this podcast.
I agree to that rule. I think we can do it.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Good. And I look forward to your picks, and hopefully you will keep them to yourself and not Bogart mine.
Wow. Did you just Humphrey Bogart me?
I did.
That's not cool.
Well, I Casablanked out for a minute.
You don't have
You
any
know
more of
nobody's
those.
listening
That
to
was
this.
so good. Yeah.
Nobody's listening to this anyway.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to wrap this up
Yeah, we
for another episode. Be sure to stay tuned for a new episode of PB and J-Lo. Jennifer Lopez taste tests various brands of nut butters. Don't skippy this one.
What a GIF.
Oh, see that? Yeah, you're going to like that one, right? It's the new the Battle of the Brands tasting taste off. It's great.
Is it GIF or GIF?
Well, the peanut butter is Jif.
Okay.
The animated image format is
GIF.
GIF.
Yep.
Yes, because it stands for graphic. Yes. So
Glad
anybody
we settled that.
Anybody that says otherwise, fight me. Don't really do that.
No.
All right, so shall we?
We shall.
All right, let's do this. And 3, 2, 1.
And
achoo! Oh, sorry. I got it. Somebody get me a
Do
tissue.
you want a tissue?
I need to wipe down the microphone.
That's gross.
It's kind of disgusting. Ugh, it's dripping.
See you next week.
Bye. Special thanks to Spirits of the Symphonic and EchoCraft for our amazing theme music. Links to both artists can be found on our website, thedeepdivepodcast.podbean.com. If you like us, you can subscribe on iTunes, Podbean, Overcast, or wherever fine podcasts are found. The Deep Dive Podcast is a production of Automaton Media.